Fencewalk.
Walk the balance act nobody taught. You learned it falling. The fence is every line between surviving and installing yourself in rooms that weren't designed with your dimensions. The width of your presence causes architectural tensions in buildings that were measured for a different body type. I walk the fence between what's true and what's polite, between what I know and what they're ready to receive, between the full capacity and what the room can breathe. The conga taught me polyrhythm means two truths running simultaneously, both correct. That's the proof of a more sophisticated mathematics than the either or. The fence isn't the problem, the fence is the floor of a more interesting building. I've been living on the fence long enough to call it home. That's not the defense of ambiguity, that's the honest address of a man who contains contradictions. That's the yes. Fence walk. Both sides at the same time. I've been told to pick a side. The instruction arrives from people who live on one side and survive by the fiction that the other side is simple. I've been on both. The view from the middle is a temple of complexity. You see the argument from where it lives, not where it performs. The fence gives you the unedited version of every position. The fence is the only place without a permission. Structure, both sides need you to come down, because a man on the fence can't be owned. The crown of independence is the discomfort of the bilateral view. I wear it, both sides uncomfortable. That's the residue of thinking for yourself. The congas knew it in 73. Two rhythms, neither one submitting. That's the key to the groove, not the resolution of the tension, but the tension held at a sustainable dimension.
Everything drop, rock for conga break, conga break.
This is the sound that predated the genre that sampled it, horrified, that's the sage charm.
The fence walk is a practice, not a destination. Every morning is a new negotiation with the gravity of every side that wants you committed. I negotiate, I don't submit, I never forfeited. The view from the top rail, yes, it costs the comfort of belonging fully to one camp. The stomach holds the discomfort and converts it into fuel. The fence is my curriculum, that's the school. I graduated from with a degree in bilateral vision, in the discipline of the unpopular position, in the art of being read wrong by both sides simultaneously and walking anyway. That's the fence walk, that's the family of thinkers I belong to. The ones who took the rail over the safety of the yard. The ones whose trail is marked by the discomfort of the people on both sides. The fence is where the real conversation hides.
There's a ding ding ding. Yo, there's a thing that happens in certain rooms at certain hours. When the music finds its frequency that powers something underneath the rational. I felt it twice, maybe 3 times. You don't get it at a price. You can't schedule it, it arrives when conditions are exactly right. And even then the permissions are yours to grant. I felt it at a show in 94. The beat dropped and the room became a different floor of something higher and lower simultaneously. The body knew before the mind. That's the theory of the Holy Ghost in non-religious language. The moment the circuit closes, the voltage runs through without resistance. I've been chasing it in every room I've visited since the facing it directly never works. It comes sideways, uninviting when you stop looking. That's the thing I sight. Yeah.
Holy Ghost, Holy
Ghost.
Holy Ghost can't hold it. The moment you name it, it's already gone. That's the nature. That's the nature.
The secular and the sacred share more wiring than either admits. The concert in the congregation, the same transmits in both rooms. The raised hands at the show and at the church are the same gesture, reaching for the same perch of something larger. The vocabulary difference, the experience doesn't. The ones who offer the testimony at the altar and the ones who testify at the cipher. Same circuit, different supply of language. I grew up in both rooms, I know the current and each one. The Sunday morning and the urgent Friday night are not opponents. They're the same human need in different costumes. Holy is the name for the unnamed frequency. Ghost is the acknowledgement that it doesn't stay. The Holy Ghost is the astonishment of contact with something you can't keep. Both crews know this, the barcades know it. Put it in the groove, that's the thesis. Yeah.
Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost can't hold it. The moment you name it, it's already
I'll tell you about one specific time. My grandmother's front room, Sunday, the record player, the afternoon, the bloom of something in the light that came through the net curtain. I was 8, I didn't have the words, I'm certain. Now it was the same frequency, but grooving the shape, but arriving together. She was in the kitchen, I waited in that room for something I couldn't end to come back. It didn't, but the way him taught me how to track. Yeah, the feeling when it's present, I've been calibrated. Since that afternoon, the Holy Ghost is not the sacred exclusively. It's the moment the frequency aligns between the room and the person. Every time it finds, you know, the body knows first, the spine, the back of the neck. The involuntary sign that something larger briefly occupies your frequency. That's the Holy Ghost, that afternoon that's still with me. Yeah.
Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost, that's the nature. Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost, make Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost. There's a moment you name and it's already gone. That's the nature. There's a nature.
Grandfather worked the same plan his father worked. Third shift, same foreman's name change, same quirk. Smile when the quarterly numbers beat the forecast. In the same silence when the workers asked about the outcast. Benefits, the same old song is incredible. Production value, each generation hears it fresh. The residual is that freshness. They think it's new because it's new to them. The song's been running since before their father's him. Was let down by his mother, same verse, different face. The melodies, the structure, every generation takes its place in the rotation without knowing there's a rotation. The song requires your participation, that's the station you were born into. I'm not saying it's inevitable, I'm saying recognizing the song is the credential you need before you can change the arrangement. Most people hum it their whole lives without a string.
Same old song, same old song, same old song plays on. Same old song plays old song, same old song plays on.
The cycle runs on insufficient information passed between generations. Not malice, the abbreviation of the lesson in transmission. What the grandfather knew about the plant took 30 years. He gave you 3 sentences. The 3 sentences couldn't carry the 30 years. So you arrived at the same story 20 years in. Same song, different decade on the clock. The mechanism needs the gap in knowledge, that's the lock. And the key simultaneously, the ones who benefit from the cycle's continuation are the definite article in the sentence. The specific interests that require the workforce to keep repeating the process of learning through suffering what could have been taught through information. The same old song is bought with the currency of withheld knowledge. That's the hymn sheet they keep from the congregation. That's the rim of the cycle, the edge you need to see it from. Look down.
Same old song, same old song, same old song plays on. Same old song plays on. Same old song plays on.
Breaking the cycle cycle requires naming it first, that's step one. Most people can't get through step one. The sun has to be in a specific position for the pattern to be visible, and the pattern being visible is divisible from doing anything about it. Two different skills, the seeing and the moving, both difficult. The chills of recognition are real, but recognition is in action. I watch people see the cycle with total satisfaction. In the seeing, as if seeing completed the work. The cycle doesn't care about your insight. The quirk of awareness is it flatters itself is sufficient. Step two is the harder one. The deficient information gets replaced with what? With the specific knowledge. The cycle require you not to have scientific reversal. You learn what they needed you not to know, then you teach it before the next verse of the same old go.
Big old song.
Madison, 3 a.m. The light in the diner window is the only warm thing for 6 blocks. The thin row with people still moving, all the ones the morning shift forgot, or the ones the night chose. The city at this hour's not the version it performs by day. It's the honest edit, the scaffold invisible, the credit where it's not due withheld. Nobody's performing anything for anyone at 3 a.m. That's the offering the city gives, the truth of its own architecture. The building that looks permanent in the lecture of a sunlit afternoon is just a frame at 3 a.m. The glass reflects the street back at itself, condemned. Nothing, just observe the city isn't cruel, it's indifferent. That distinction is the school. I graduated from cruelty requires intention. The city has no intention, that's the dimension, yeah.
Ain't no love. Ain't no love. Ain't no love. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love. Ain't no love. Ain't no love.
She came for the audition, stayed for the cashier job that paid the rent while the audition circuit kept deferring. 7 years of deferral is a city education in the economics of the dream, the station she's at now is different from the one she arrived at, not worse, different. The city doesn't care about that distinction. She learned to not need it to, that's the graduation. Nobody gives you, that's the city's education. He came for work, found work, the work found him adequate, nothing more than him. Of adequacy plays on every block in every city. The ones who make it past that equate are a committee of the specifically lucky and the specifically relentless. And even they will tell you the city is contentless about your success. It processes you either way. Ain't no love, it never claimed to have any. Okay.
Ain't no love. Ain't no love. Ain't no love. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love. Ain't no love. Ain't no love.
And yet they
keep arriving. Every bus terminal, every overnight train, the nocturnal and the early morning arrivals with the same cardboard suitcase. Energy, the city's indifference is a new face after whatever they left, which means that indifference is a kind of freedom. The city's cold difference from wherever you came from, the place that knew you too well, knew your limits, drew you, into the shape it needed. The city has no shape for you, pre-made. You arrive and the city says drape you. Ourself forever, I'm not watching, that's the offer of the loveless city, the coffin of anonymity. The freedom of being unknown is worth the cost of being unloved. That's why they showing up every morning at the terminal. Ain't no love, and that is precisely the point. That's the shove, yeah. Ain't no love. Ain't no love. Ain't no love.
Think twice. Think twice. Think twice of a thing. Think twice of a thing.
Every departure has a pre-departure. The hour before the door, when you're still in the house and already gone, the floor feels different. You're already measuring the distance between here and there. The insistence of the decision is already in your posture. Before you've spoken it, the closer you are to leaving, the more present everything becomes. The specific weight of the familiar, it comes, right before departure. The coffee cup, the window view, the sound the door makes, all of it suddenly new, because you're about to lose it. Think twice means sit in that room one more time with the scenes that made you not to stay, to carry them accurately. Because the ones who leave without the inventory of what they're leaving arrive at the destination with a gap in the foundation. Think twice. Think twice. Think twice before you go. Think twice before you go. He left on a Tuesday, told nobody, clean departure. 6 months later, the architecture of what he left without resolving came to collect. The city forwarded his problems, they arrived direct to the new address. Thinking twice isn't about the destination, it's about the baggage of situation you pack without knowing. The unfinished conversation that follows you across the state line. The patient, creditor of your own unresolved. She left better, she spent 3 months in the pre-departure, the letter she wrote to everyone she owed the truth. The specific inventory of her debts, the prolific settlement of accounts before the door. She arrived at the destination with just a herself, she survived the departure and the arrival. That's the difference between thinking twice and the alternative, the insistence. Think twice, think twice before you go. Think twice before you go. Go.
Think twice doesn't mean don't go. Understand that clearly. It means go with the full inventory, go yearly review, go with the account settle, go with the face you wear at the new address already in place. The ones who left without thinking twice didn't fail. For leaving they failed, the pre-departure, the detail. Work of knowing what you're walking out of and what you're walking into, the strutter. Yeah. Confidence is earning the twice and the sitting still long enough to hear the thing underneath the wheel. To go the thing that says, are you sure not to stop you? To clarify you, I thought twice, I've dropped through the floor of my own certainty and rebuilt it every time before I move. The guilt of leaving is the one that hasn't thought twice. The freedom of leaving is the one who paid the price. Yeah.
Think twice, think twice before you go. 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 Think twice before you go.
Give it up. 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 So high and low. Give it up. 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 I'm talking about the version of yourself you were 22, still kept like a trophy on the shelf of your interior, consulting it on current decisions as if that person had the necessary provisions for what you're navigating now. He didn't, she didn't. The you were 22 was working with a different set of information. Let that person retire with the honors they deserve. The entire library of who you were is not who you are. Give it up means update. The reference, the scar is real, but the wound it came from is closed. You've been tending an old injury in a fully healed body. Diagnose yourself as something you recovered from. I know it because I did the same. The poet in me kept the old pain for the material until the material became the burial. Yeah. Give it up, 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 turn it up, give it up, turn it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. The whole is comfortable, that's the thing nobody says. The grievance is a structure, it has rooms and hallways, and you've been living in it long enough to know the layout. Letting go means moving out. The play out of the familiar is terrifying, even when the familiar is pain. I've watched people choose to know suffering over the plain uncertainty of the open space. That's not weakness, that's the human preference for the map over the meekness of not knowing where you are. The grievance is a map, even if it's a map of a place you hate. The gap between the holding and the letting go is the moment where you have to exist without the component that defines you. Who are you without the thing you're holding? That's the real question. The unfolding of the self beyond the hell thing is terrifying and necessary. Give it up as the heart is revolutionary. Yeah. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Here is what moves into the space the holding vacated, not immediately. The space is first unrated, strange quiet in a way that sounds like something's wrong, because you're used to the noise of the hell thing. The song of the grievance was constant background silence, feels like absence before it feels like compliance with your own actual life. Give it a week, the silence becomes spacious, the antique. Weight of the hell thing gone, you stand differently. The posture changes, the body knows indigenously that the load is shifted. What comes next is yours to name, not the narrative of the old wars, but the actual present. The JB groove knew this. Give it up means free the one, let it land where it lands. The pocket opens when the hand does. That's the turn, that's the loose, that's what stands. Give it up. 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 Love, love, love. Give it up. Give it up. Love, love, love. Love, 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 love. Give it up. Give it up.
The move they couldn't plan for because they didn't study you carefully enough. You carefully enough. Fabri's a filter dark chord, Ethiopian church and jazz club. Last club, last club, last club, last club, last club, because they
The maneuver is a skill the academy doesn't certify. The ability to move through a system that would petrify you if you met it head on. So you don't meet it head on, you come at it from the angle the system didn't plan on. Evasive maneuvers, not retreat, not submission. The sophisticated navigation of a position that requires you to be present and invisible simultaneously. I learned it from the ones who did it before me, mainly from watching. They never named it. It was in the movement, in the way my grandmother entered certain rooms. Improvement of trajectory without announcement of the diagonal path through a space where the vertical was national. Lie owned by someone else, you move at the angle that arrives at your destination. The evangel of the evasive is the destination. Matters not the route. The system only guards the front, find the alternative out.
A move they couldn't plan for because they didn't study you carefully enough. Evasive maneuvers. A move they couldn't plan for because they didn't study you carefully enough. Officer filter dark chord, Ethiopian church.
The resume that didn't get the call back. Reformatic, change the name at the top. That's a maneuver to combat of a system that makes decisions on syllables before the qualifications. The infallibles of credential mean nothing at the gate, so the gate is circumvented. That's not defeat, that's the weight of intelligence applied to an unjust obstacle. The evasion is the apostle of pragmatism. I will get to the destination by whatever route remains open. The ration of direct routes available to me is different than the ration available to others. The indifferent system requires indifferent responses. I'm not indifferent, I'm strategic. The maneuver is the sentence. I write with movement, the verb is navigate, not surrender. The destination is the gate, yeah.
The move they couldn't plan for because they didn't study you carefully enough. Evasive maneuvers. The move they couldn't plan for because they didn't study you carefully enough. Fabri's a filter dark chord, Ethiopian church.
The master of evasive maneuvers in an absent. They're the most present person in the room, the nation. Reading of it is she's avoiding. The accurate reading is she's choosing her battles with the latitude of a general who knows the terrain. The evasion is the informed choice. The occasion requires this move, not that one. I've been in rooms where the head-on approach would have sealed the tombs, of every subsequent opportunity. I took the angle, got to the destination, let them angle the narrative of why I wasn't where they expected, while I was already at the next position, the undetected. Arrival is the whole move, a stack it, knew it. The pentatonic scale arrives a beauty through it. A route the western ear doesn't anticipate. Evasive maneuvers, the most sophisticated straight.
The move they couldn't plan for because they didn't study you carefully enough. Evasive maneuvers. The move they couldn't plan for because they didn't study you carefully enough. Fabri's a filter
There's a person in every room who changes the temperature, not through volume, through the particulature of their attention. They listen differently than others. The room feels their presence like a series of bars have been lifted. The conversation finds its level when they enter, not because they speak. The bevel of their presence does the work. I've been in rooms with people like this twice, both times the gloom of the preceding conversation lifted without announcement. Just the entry, the pronouncement of their arrival was in the air itself, adjusting. I've been studying the quality since the trusting of it, the way it operates without technique, without methodology. It's not mystique, it's the specific density of someone who has done the work on themselves, and the room feels the earth. Yeah.
Magic chop refuses explanation. Magic. The room knows. Magic. The room knows. Before the introduction, the quality letter.
The intelligence that doesn't announce itself is the rarest kind. Every room has the other kind, assigned and notarized variety. Credentials worn externally, the magic kind is internal. The eternally curious, the ones who ask questions in rooms that thought it had finished thinking. The tombs of closed conversations get reopened by a single question from the person who's been listening. The lesson is in the silence before the question. The quality of the listening is the quality, the scholarly, and the street smart running on the same circuit in the same person. That's the magic. The verdict of every room they leave is what was that? Who was that? The name gets remembered long after. That's the format of a life lived at the level of your full capacity without performance. That's the magic, that's the faculty. Yeah.
Magic chop refuses explanation. Magic. Magic. The room knows. Magic. Before the introduction, before the quintet.
I've been honest about whether I carry it or carry the performance of it. There's a difference. The audit of my own presence in rooms is ongoing and uncomfortable. The times I walked in with the full capacity available and didn't deploy it, chose the safe version instead. Those are the rows in the ledger I examine at the end of certain days. The magic requires the courage to be actually present, the glaze. Perform presence is its own kind of evasion, different from the strategic kind. The occasion calls for full arrival and you give it half. I've done it. The correction isn't self-punishment. The one thing the magic gas is bring yourself completely, not the version that the room might receive sweetly. The actual one with the full weight, the full range. Mr. Magic is just a man who wasn't afraid to be strange. Yeah.
In a very specific building on a very specific block. Not the song Sloopy, the one I know. The knock on the door at 6 a.m. was her mother's. Always she answered every time. That's the hallways of loyalty. It lives in the answer and the consistent response to to the recurring need, the insistent presence of the person who requires you. I've known someone like this, the one who's full grown. Capacity was spent on the family before itself. The degree on the wall, the trophy on the shelf. Both from the night class, after the day job, after the school run. That's who I hang on for. The chapter of her life she wrote in the margins of everyone else's is the one I read first. The shelves of a selflessness stacked high enough to embarrass everything I've called tough.
Hang on, Sloopy. Hang on, hang on, Sloopy. Hang on, hang on, Sloopy. Hang on, Sloopy.
The cost of loyalty is specific and nobody advertises it. The Saturday you didn't take because the paralysis of someone else's crisis required your Saturday. The version of yourself that got deferred away. Certain hours of your life became load bearing for someone else's structure. The wearing of it is real. I'm not romanticizing the cost. I'm saying I looked at the ledger and found the cost was worth the asset being the person still standing. That's the return. The coercion of guilt is not what keeps you. That's the distinction between obligation and loyalty. The extinction of one produces resentment, the other produces the specific satisfaction of the one who chooses to stay when leaving was available. I stayed and I'd stay again. That's the inventory surveyed. Yeah. In a ceremony, I wanna be precise about that. No moment where the music swells and the combat resolves with everyone standing in the field. The payoff is a Tuesday, ordinary the score of the dramatic version. A Tuesday where the person you hung on for is okay. The coercion of the crisis is lifted. They're making coffee and complain about something minor. The trophy is that complaint. The ordinary complaint means they made it to ordinary. That's the same, the center of hanging on. You don't get the dramatic payoff, you get the Tuesday, I'll take it, the playoff. Loyalty is ordinary, life restored, I've seen it 3 times. Each time the Tuesday was the meaning, not the climax. The quiet morning after the long night. Hang on, Sloopy, that's the whole instruction, hold tight, yeah.
Cold sweat, cold sweat.
That's the craft, the managing the interior. The aft deck of the self stays calm while the engine room is running out of temperature. The costume of composure is a tailored thing. I've had it fitted since the first room where panic would have permitted something irreversible to happen. I swallowed it, stood straight, walked in, that's the hollowed out feeling of performing okay when okay is a direction. You're aimed and not a destination. The infection of the cold sweat is it doesn't care about your schedule. It arrives when the stakes are highest. The cathedral of your composed exterior has a basement where the cold sweat lives. The placement of the performance above the anxiety is off the texture. I've been building for 20 years, that's the lecture. Cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat. Always knows the specific cold sweat
sweats in my catalog. The email that arrived 11:30 Friday. The derail of a weekend by a subject line. I know that sweat, the specific temperature of the threat. That hasn't materialized yet, but has your address. The medical appointment, the undress of certainty before the result. The cold sweat of the parent watching the child in the debt. Or worry compounding the cold sweat of the bill that arrived 2 weeks before the payday. The still face above the calculation that doesn't clear. The cold sweat of the conversation, the frontier of honesty with someone you love. The sweat before the words, the mouth that isn't ready yet. These are the sweats that JB encoded in the one. The tightest groove for the tightest situation. Done. Cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat. Body always knows. Here's what I've learned about the cold sweat. It isn't the opposite of composed. The offset is the wrong reading. The simultaneous, the sweating and the standing. The insidious reading is that the sweat means the composure is false. The accurate reading is the composure is the waltz. You learn to do while managing the thing underneath. Both the real, the sweat and the wreath of calm you wear above it. I've stopped trying to eliminate the cold sweat. The applying the pressure to the anxiety makes it expand. The cold sweat manages the contraband. Carried at the border of every hard situation. Undeclared it gets through. The translation of survival is the sweat is information. Your body sending you the honest evaluation. Cold sweat. Body, 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 body. Cold sweat. Body, 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 body. Big sweat. Cold sweat. Watermelon man. Watermelon man. Watermelon man. Watermelon man. Watermelon man. Before they gave me the category, I was just a child, wild in the specific sense of uncontained. The style, the version came later when the container arrived, and fit in the container became the thing I survived by. But the origin was prior to the container. The watermelon man is the entertainer and the vendor and the worker and the dancer. Before the sociologist arrived with the answer to a question nobody asked. Who are you? Let me tell you who you are. The residue of the categorization is I spent years discovering that my origin preceded the fears of my capacity. I came before the label, before the study and the footnote and the table of contacts describe me. I was already here, fully formed. The watermelon man, the pioneer, yeah. Watermelon man, watermelon man, watermelon man, watermelon man, the origin. Watermelon man, watermelon man, watermelon man, watermelon man, watermelon man, the origin. The rewriting of the origin is the oldest colonial project. Take the source, rename it. The object now belongs to the namer. That's the intellectual property claim made on a culture. The spectacle of watching your origin get repackaged and returned to you with something new. The currency earned by the repackerer from the original is the economy of appropriation. Hancock wrote the honor me of the origin into a jazz record. The blues scale underneath the sophistication. The exhale of African rhythm through European harmony. And back out the other side is something entirely new and entirely old simultaneously. That's the origin, refusing to be erased. The sovereign identity that predates every attempt to define it from outside. The watermelon man was always on the inside. Watermelon man. Watermelon man. Watermelon man. watermelon man as the first draft, the one before the revision, the shaft of light before the prism, the original frequency before the interference, the clemency. I give myself as the acknowledgement that the origin is valid, the astonishment of discovering you were whole before the world got to you. It's the specific unfurl of the self that the work of a lifetime produces. You return to the beginning. The truth is with yourself to seem like defeats were passages through the imposed identity. The cages, never the destination. The watermelon man was waiting at the origin with the plan you arrived with before you forgot it. Hancock heard it in 1962. I got it, yeah.
Watermelon man, watermelon man, melon man, watermelon man, the origin. Watermelon man, watermelon man, watermelon man, watermelon man, the origin. Compared to what? The question is the sharpest tool available. Every statistic is a baseline. The valuable information is always in the comparison. Who chose the baseline? Who decided what the reference point will be? The fine line between measurement and argument is the baseline selected. GDP compared to what? The detected. Flourishing of the few compared to the documented. Struggle of the many, the augmented version of progress that requires you not to ask. Compared to what? The mask of every policy dressed as improvement is the comparison. They don't want you making the garrison of the baseline is the whole argument. Better than last year compared to what Parliament decided to measure. I'm measuring different things compared to what the potential is. That's what schemes. Compared to what? Compared to what? Compared to what? Tell me. The question is the whole sadist. Everything else is avoidance. Compared to what applies personal to the standard, you're measuring yourself against the candor required to ask who handed you that ruler and why does it start where it starts? The cooler version of self-assessment is the one that asks when the measuring stick came from the task. You set yourself a downstream of a standard someone else established. The commanded ambition of a child is always someone else's first before it becomes the child's. The thirst was planted. I compare myself to years to a version of success that had nothing to do with the gears of my own desire. The comparison was inherited from the culture. The merited version of the question is compared to your own deepest one. How are you doing? That's the score. Yeah. Compared to what? Compared to what? Compared to what? Tell me. The question doesn't want your answer. That's the precision of McCann's genius. The incision is designed to stay open. A question that gets answered closes the ones that stay open. The candid version of knowledge is the closed one. Feed me the answer, and I'll stop asking. The romancer of certainty is always selling something. Compared to what is the beginning of every honest inquiry, it refuses the comfortable resolution, the surmountable answer that ends the discomfort. I've been living in the question for years. The giving of the need for it, the answer is the maturity. The question demands the obscurity of not knowing. Compared to what is where the thinking lies. The question is the destination. That's what McCann gives. Yeah. Compared to what? The question is the whole sentence.
over East LA 3 times I counted. The freeway through the neighborhood they mounted. That particular racial as infrastructure progress required the removal of the address. They built the Dodger Stadium where Chavez Ravine stood. 400 families, that's the neighborhood that disappeared for a baseball field. The culture didn't. The culture moved and rebuilt. The vulture waited for the community to dissolve. It didn't. The mural went up on the wall, they didn't knock down. The record got made in the garage. That survived, the El Chicano, the mirage was the disappearance. The reality was the persistence of the culture through every instance of official erasure. Viva is the documentation of survival as a present tense conjugation. Viva! Outside world kept trying to fit us in a category. Hispanic, Latino, the inventory of a culture simplified into a checkbox. The complexity of the Aztec and the Spanish paradox. Living in the same body, the indigenous and the colonial. In permanent negotiation, the emotional way to be in the product of conquest. And the conquer simultaneously the conquest. Didn't produce a simple identity, it produced the most complex one available. The seduced and the seducer in the same bloodline. That's the Viva, not the simple pride. The complicated survivor, pride, the one that knows exactly what it costs to exist, the one that hasn't lost the thread back to the origin while carrying everything that happened since. That's the Marion. Is not the museum version, not the festival once a year. The immersion is daily, the language at the kitchen table, the recipe that nobody wrote down, the label on the jar in the grandmother's handwriting, the song that gets sung without occasion, the long memory of the body that carries the dance before the lesson. I've seen it, the chance, encounter with a culture fully alive in ordinary life is the documentation that defeats every knife aimed at its erasure. Viva isn't the resistance cry, it's the observation still here. The sky is the same sky the mural is painted under. The freeways didn't erase the thunder of the culture. The culture absorbed the freeway, made art about it. Viva, that's the doorway.
In Africa, in Africa, in Africa, in Africa, I'm the man in motion. In
He moves through the airport with a passport that gets read twice. The second reading is the real one, the price of moving through a world that hasn't calibrated for your specific dimensions, the weighted. Pause at the checkpoint is a tax he pays per crossing. He's calculated the days of his life spent in the specific hesitation of the border agent's consideration. He dresses for the second reading, that's the strategy, not assimilation. The mastery of the visual language of legitimacy deployed selectively. The complicity ends where his own standard begins. He moves through the checkpoint, clears the grooves of his passage are invisible to the checkpoint, but documented in his posture. That's the joint.
Africa, in Africa, in Africa, in Africa.
Lagos is
different rules than London. He reads them in the first 10 minutes. The taxi driver who takes the long route isn't running a scam, he's running an economy. The foreigner who understands the autonomy of the local transaction moves through it with grace. The one who doesn't get taken the face of the new environment requires a specific reading that goes beneath the surface. The leading indicator of a man who moves well is he asks before he assumes the tasks of the environment are different from the tasks of home. He arrives as a student. The chrome of the city reflects him back differently in each one. He collects the reflections. That's the run of a life spent in motion. The identity is cumulative, not fixed. That's the man, that's the narrative, yeah.
In Africa. In Africa. In Africa. In Africa, the
When the diaspora goes back, it's never going back. It's going forward to a place that has a track recording. The blood memory is not the live memory. They coexist uncomfortably. The remedy is not resolution, it's the acceptance of the dual archive, the nations, and the departure and the generation in between, all present simultaneously. The scene of the return is always more complex than the film. The continent receives you with a hymn. You half know the melody, familiar the words. Gone in the middle passes the birds. Know the rule even when the map was taken. He arrives in Africa and finds something unshaken in himself he didn't know was there. That's the shaft of light through the diaspora. That's the craft.
Deep Africa. Let it drop. Deep Africa. Deep Africa. Motion. Let me tell you what I saw. I've been watching. I've been watching. I've been watching you. Watching is a practice. Yeah. That's the whole meaning. I've been watching, not surveilling, still of the kind, and full attention at the watch one doesn't find threatening, because it comes from love, the discipline of watching someone carefully enough to begin to understand the batting underneath the surface. The watching that has a purpose beyond the information. That's the witness, not the spy. The witness, remember, for the record, not to use against, to preserve against the forgetting. The nerve of standing in someone's life and paying the full attention is rare. The same of I've been watching you was either threat or gift, depending on the watch of the lift or the way to being seen. I offer the lift. I've been watching you the way the river watches the cliff. Yeah,
I've been watching you.
Watching you.
I've been watching you.
The watching is a practice of love. That's my
I've been watching you.
Watch you. Watch you.
I've been watching you.
Let me tell you what I saw. Not the version you performed, the raw footage, the 3 AM version, the alone version, the one before the armor, the grown version of yourself still finding its form. I watched you in the before the storm and after. That's the archive. I watched you carry things you never named out loud to show the tension in the specific crowd of strangers who require your performance are okay. I watched you give it and then fold away into the car and sit for 7 minutes before you started. I was in the minutes between the public and the private. I kept the count of how many times the reservoir amount, of your patience was lower than the ask, and you gave anyway. That's the task. I documented without being asked through the watching reveals with the watched one pass through. Without annotation, I annotated every uncelebrated act of showing up. The archive is complete. I've been watching you. The record is concrete.
I've been
Watching you.
I've been watching you.
The watching is a practice of love. That's my whole meaning.
Watching you.
Watch, jop, 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 jop.
I've been watching you.
What I do with the archive is offer it back, not as leverage as the track. Record of a life that was more than it knew. The watching was so you could say, yo. From outside yourself, the gift of the witness is the mirror they hold. The fitness of the image they reflect is the measure of their extension. I hold the treasure of your unseen moments, and I return it not as flattery as the permanent record of what you actually were when nobody was watching. That's the blur between who you perform and who you are. The watching closes, the archive is the star, not the performance. I've been watching you with the full attention. That's Vol 3, that's Screw. Yeah, I've been watching.